New Orleans Saints 6. We're at the halftime at the Meadowlands. Another half coming up. Again, I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. I think the Saints would rather be, obviously, they'd like to be closer than they are. The one thing they're aware of course, is the Jets have not scored a point in the third quarter. But in the first half, John, it's been pretty much the Al Toon show.
Well, that's the thing. You know, Al Toon has 3 catches, 84 yards, but he has 2 touchdowns. And I think that he's proven that he is really a dominant factor in the NFL today. And we'll look at both of those. The first one was down here. They were going in from the 10-yard line, and you see Toon just works his way in. He gets down into the end zone, and again, a 6'4", that big target in there. That was good pass protection, good throw by Ken O'Brien. But here was the big one. I think that this is the one that shows everything Al Toon is. You see you got the moves here. He'll go inside. He'll catch the ball in a crowd. Again, he has the strength, the ability to get away from tackles, and then the speed to run away from them. Now, you can look at that 2 ways. You can say Al Toon was super on that play, but you can look at it the other way and say, hey, that Saint defense was in a zone. They had all those guys free, and none of them tackled.
John, on the other side of the coin, the Saints have not been able to manufacture anything.
Well, I think, you know, one thing, they lost Ruben Mays, of course. He injured his foot and is doubtful whether he'll be back, and he was their big running attack, and Dave Wilson just hasn't been able to get anything going.
All right, John, CBS Sports coverage of NFL football will continue after this word and a message from your local station.
I want to talk to you about something that could change your life. Insurance. This is a policy from one of the world's biggest insurance specialists for almost any kind of insurance, because you just never know when you're going to need insurance. Excuse me. Hey, you big ape! You know who has to pay for this mess?
Transamerica, for insurance and financial services. The power of the pyramid is working for you.
Not everyone got a vacation this summer.
I need a vacation. What do you need, some glasses? How many fingers can you see? I need a vacation.
This fall, you can still get great low fares to more places on the biggest bargain airline, United.
I got a vacation.
Have a nice shower, Piccone.
And I'm not just flying. I'm flying friendly skies.
I'm out of there.
Roger Eddy for U.S. Senate.
Let me speak directly to the working men and women of Connecticut. I don't come with music or a slogan. What you see is what you'll get if you let me work for you. Your jobs are threatened by a system of trade that allows Japan to sell their products to you, but denies us the right to sell what you make to them. The only thing Japan wants from you is your job. As your U.S. Senator, I'll work for a trade bill that will open world markets and save your job. It's your job I care about.
Town Fair Tire is famous for their low discount prices and service that's fast and free. At Town Fair Tire, mounting and static balancing is free. Tire rotation is free. Snow tire changeover is free. Buy 4 new tires, they align your car's front end free. And if you ever get a flat, they'll even fix it free. For name brands like Continental and great free service, visit the Town Fair Tire Center near you.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Chrysler Plymouth, we're working together to be the best. And by Ramada, where business travelers always get the all-star treatment.
Ready to start the second half with Pat Leahy set to kick off to the New Orleans Saints. Mel Gray back deep in the middle. This one is going to be fielded or almost by an up man, and now Gray finally picks it up inside the 10. Gray gets back to about the 12, and that's all he got. Troy Benson down to make the stop. There's Ruben Mays over on the sideline. Again, he has a sprained foot, and we're not able to find out whether he'll be back or not. It is doubtful.
Well, that's what hurts when you take your guy who's a leading rusher and average-wise a leading rusher in the league, and he only gets 4 carries and has the injury, and you lose him because Dave Wilson, as we said, has been struggling. He's only thrown for 31 yards in that first half.
And those 2 big interceptions. So it's up to Dalton Hilliard, who's the deep back. Mike Jones is motion. This is Hilliard. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. He might have struggled ahead for a yard before Joe Klecko led the defense.
I'll tell you one thing, Joe Klecko does raise Kane inside. Watch him. He just gets there. He shifts from the right to the left side. Then he's going to take court, you see, and he gets underneath his shoulder pad. Then he can club him with that right hand, and there's no place to go for Dalton Hilliard.
Once he gets underneath those shoulder pads, he's won half the battle.
You know, that's where you gain all your strength, is by getting underneath. And conversely, if you're the blocker, you lose all your strength when the guy gets underneath you.
No gain for Hilliard. It's 2nd and 10. The counterplay is eaten up by Gastineau. It's Hilliard, the ball carrier. Kyle Clifton. Jackson also there. A loss of 6.
Well, that's the thing they handled. You see, that time they had a double Klecko. And then Marty Lyons was able to get penetration. And you see what now if they can block one guy, that's one thing. See, but they have to block 2 on him. They block 2 on Klecko, and then they allow penetration back there by Marty Lyons. So they have to go one way or the other. You know, do you single Klecko and then block everyone else, or do you double him and you have to let someone go free?
3rd and 16. You don't want to be in this situation too many times. You got trouble on your hands. Dalton Hilliard outside the 10. They'll have to punt. Bobby Humphrey, the extra defensive back, on the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, we haven't called Mark Gastineau's name much today. We see him there. He's going in and out. Plays only in a 4-man line, but watch him here. 99. He drops back. You see, now that's a tough thing for a tackle. You're down there, Bill Conch, you're ready to block him, and your guy weighs 280 pounds and backs off.
Hansen's kick is a good one. Chasing Sohn back inside his own 40. Kurt Sohn hit just short of midfield by Jack Del Rio, number 50. 50-yard punt by Hansen. Sohn brought it back 10. So with 12:43 left to play in the 3rd quarter, Jets still lead 21-6.
Howdy. Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light.
Quickly, the Jets go to work, and O'Brien comes out throwing. On 1st down from their own 47, intended for Mickey Schuler. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Now, that's the thing about these Jets, I think, is the way they use their 2 and 3 tight ends, and then their 2 wide receivers, and they keep giving you a different look, a different formation and personnel look just about every offensive play.
2nd and 10. They have Page and McNeil. For Walker. Complete. Hit by Waymer. A gain of 9 is where they put it down. It'll be 3rd and short.
You know, that there again is where speed kills. You know, you take a guy like Waymer, Dave Waymer there, he knows that he's playing on Wesley Walker. Walker has already caught a touchdown to the post. They've already gotten Al Toon in the end zone. So you give a little more cushion. You back off a little more, and then boom, they start cutting it off in front of you.
Rain again has stopped, but the field is still very wet. They need a yard. McNeil got it on the spin back to the inside. Picked up 2.
That was a good spin there by McNeil. Remember the time early in the game when he spun, he got hit right in the back by Jim Wilkes, right in the middle of a spin, and he fumbled it. But that time he got that spinner going, and boom, he spun for a first.
Minnesota leading Cleveland. The Vikings have suddenly got very tough.
I tell you, they beat the 49ers and they beat the Bears, and some people think the Bears were the best team in the football. So what does that make Minnesota?
2 of them right here who have those thoughts. McNeil comes wide to the right. Fumble the pass from center. The snap from center. Neither one of these teams do much from the shotgun.
One day when we were watching tapes, and I thought that Ken O'Brien, had his hands way up and was really away from the ball, and that's okay as long as the center doesn't fire out. But I think you're going to get some of those things when the center goes out. You see here, he's back away, and his feet come out, and his hands came out a little at the same time, and the ball was left short. That'll happen on a quarterback when the quarterback's going back and the center's going forward. See how far away he is?
Excuse me, John. Sohn was the move man. O'Brien gets it to Toon. And Toon gets down to about the 35. Stopped by Johnny Poe. A pickup of 10. They still need some more for a first.
Sure, that's one thing that the Saints talked about when they went in the locker room at halftime. They said, hey, look, they're going to catch some, but doggone, you got to tackle them. Don't just let them run through the whole defense for touchdown. I think as a coach, that would be the thing that would upset me, not so much the fact that Toon caught 3 passes, but what he did with it after he caught it.
3rd and 1 from the Saint 33. O'Brien back to throw, if he has time, and he doesn't. The sack takes him all the way back to the 40. That's the 3rd Saint sack of today.
Now again, this is a coverage sack because he has 3 guys out here on the right. You see, and he's looking, and he doesn't have anyone open. So he had to hold the ball, and he just held it, and then Haynes got there. But watch these 3 guys. You see, you got 3 coming off here. This is what he's looking at right now. See, there's nothing open. Now, maybe Cleaver's going to get open later, but there was nothing open when he was ready to throw it to him, and James Haynes got him from the backside.
Those were the 3 tight ends all together in that pass pattern. Jennings standing at his own 45. Eric Martin back deep for the Saints. That'll hang up there for a long time. Jennings' punt goes out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. So with 9:23 left to play in the 3rd quarter, the Jets continue to lead the Saints 21-6. I hope they're okay.
Howdy. Give me a light. Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get.
Give me a light. A Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
Ask for Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Hi. Oh. Buy your friend a beer.
Sure, the pride is back. Plymouth Sundance and Plymouth Voyager are the proof. Plymouth Sundance, the unbelievable American under $7,800. Sundance, the best value of any car in its class. Versatile Plymouth Voyager, front-wheel drive, car-like handling, spacious Plymouth Voyager. Plymouth's 550 protection plan backs them both.
The pride is back, born in America again.
Get this NFL travel bag with your team's emblem and colors free when you buy 10 rolls or more of Owens Corning insulation.
Measured intelligence reflects both genetic and environmental.
Introducing Wendy's new Big Classic. This is the good stuff.
This is not a Whopper, so you got lucky.
Don't forget a big sports Saturday, next Saturday on CBS. Back-to-back games. The Florida State Seminoles, who've really been hot lately, against the Miami Hurricanes, the #1 ranked team in the country, led by Vinny Testaverde. And then after that, the season premiere of the NBA here on CBS. The Los Angeles Lakers against the Houston Rockets. That's live at 3:30 Eastern. A big Saturday here on CBS. Dave Wilson, the Saint quarterback, has had a frustrating day so far. First and 10 Saints at their own 14. Trailing 21-6. Wilson back to throw. Has time, gets it out to Buford Jordan. And he gets inside the 15, about the 17. Kyle Clifton knocked him down, a gain of 3. And I think I saw a yellow flag. I do see a Jet player down. I know that. Is that Klecko? He's had numerous operations and injuries over the years and still snapped back to be as outstanding as he is. Let's see what happens. It is Klecko. Looks like he's holding his knee.
Looked like his left knee he was holding. One thing about Joe Klecko, you know, he gives a day's work. I mean, he's been out there and he's been, you know, running plays down in the sidelines or running plays and rushing the center. You look at him here, he's out here on that run way out there in the sideline. Looked like you can't see it there. See, he starts to spin out of it, and maybe he got his foot caught in the ground as he spun.
Number 60 offense, half the distance to the goal line, still first down.
In the meantime, there is a penalty, holding penalty. It's half the distance to the goal line.
And you see him right on the right of your picture there.
Looks like it has to be a knee. 21-6.
When you're behind the wheel in LeBaron GTS, it's nice to know GTS excelled in handling in a U.S. Auto Club test. Did 0 to 50 in 5.63 seconds. Triumphed in braking and gave BMW and Mercedes something they never expected, a driving lesson. GTS comes sensibly priced with Chrysler's protection plan. You don't drive LeBaron GTS the way USAC did, but it's nice to know you could. Chrysler, driving to be the best.
I've always been afraid of two things, flying and good cameras. But with this Canon T70, I'm not afraid. This push-button T70 is so easy to use, I can even get the tough shots. And now you can get a $25 rebate. Great shots at a great price. Nothing to fear.
The Canon T70, so advanced it makes the tough shots simple.
I'm fearless now. Ooh. Now get a rebate up to $25 from Canon. Details at participating dealers.
Which cereal has more vitamin nutrition than any other? Kellogg's Product 19 cereal. But you'd never guess.
Oh?
Because Product 19 vitamins are flaky, bumpy, crispy, crunchy, and taste so good. 100% of 12 vitamins and minerals, all in these tasty flakes.
Delicious.
Kellogg's Product 19.
Flaky.
Bumpy.
Crispy. Crunchy.
Tasty vitamins.
Florida State must face Hurricane Benny as he continues on his aerial assault for the Heisman. Vinny Testaverde ignites Miami, the nation's #1 team, next Saturday on CBS Sports.
They help Klecko off the field. Gastineau has come in. Klecko appears to have injured his knee. Baldwin has taken his place, number 95. Gastineau is 99. First and 15 from the 7. Mike Jones in motion. The counterplay to Hilliard. Alden Hilliard around the outside is hit and brought down by Baldwin.
You know, one thing that the Saints are doing, and they're having a tough time doing it, is they're trying to run the draws and the short passes. And the only time that those things really work is after you've done something deep. When you give some reason for the defense to be thinking deep, and the Saints haven't done that all day. So the Jets are able to tighten up on them.
You saw Klecko up walking around fairly well. It was his left knee. Wilson behind Eric Martin. Incomplete. Russell Carter is number 27. The defender. Here is Klecko.
You know, I think with Klecko, you see he has that brace there that they took off the knee. I think it was one of those non-contact injuries. I think as we looked at it during the commercial, I think it was something where he had his foot planted and just twisted around. That looks like what he's saying. You know, he just maybe felt something pop as he made a twist move, but there was no contact by another player on that play.
3rd and 13. Wilson again in that troubled situation. Back he goes to throw. Up the middle, complete to Mike Jones. Not nearly enough for a first down. Hamilton, the defender, and the Saints will have to punt.
Tell you one thing, this Saint offense, I think they had one thing going for them, and that was Reuben Mays. Then they lost Reuben Mays, and I don't think they have anything going for them.
Not much. Sohn back deep. Brian Hansen, the punter. He's done well. This one he didn't get. Sohn handles it. Gets into Saints territory. Flag is down. Another one of those. 37-yard punt by Hansen. Vaughn Johnson made the stop.
And that's when they're...
Illegal block in the back, number 26, steering the run back. 10-yard penalty and a first down.
That's a tough thing. They call it on Lester Lyles. It happened right in front of us here. You can see it. And it looks like, again, it looks like one of those things that he made contact when his head was in front, and then he kept going and worked around behind him.
McDonald's McDLT. Such a tasty combination of goodness. So much to get into. McDLT.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Hi, can I have a light?
This Halloween, don't just ask for a light beer. Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light!
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Thank you!
Look for this Fright Night display where you buy Bud Light and win a monster of a trip to one of your favorite haunts.
Next year, a costume party. Oh!
The Cowboys with a back attack that inspires. The Giants with a defense that dazzles and revenge on their mind. A classic in the making next Sunday on CBS Sports.
See, here's the reason we have that penalty all the time. Watch right here is Lester Lyles. He's aiming to get his head in front. Now, as this guy keeps going, he keeps going, and the head that starts in front ends up behind. And it's a tough thing. There's not much you can do. You see his head end up behind there? And that's why it was a 10-yard penalty.
O'Brien pitches out to McNeil, who circles left and gets about 3 yards before he's knocked out of bounds by James Haynes. 21-6. The Jets lead the visiting New Orleans Saints. They're putting either taping or putting a brace of some kind on Joe Klecko's left knee.
Well, I think what happened is he had the brace on before, Pat, and they took it off. And now this is a new brace. That's a different one. And of course, you have to have your pants on, so once he gets the brace on, then he can get his pants back on. He may play again.
That's fairly important. Al Toon, the intended receiver. Waymer had a shot at an interception. Almost came up with it.
Waymer was saying last week, that after the game, he said he saw his mother. And his mother said, you guys really got it going now. And Waymer was thinking it was going to be something he did like this, like almost had an interception or covered Toon well. And his mother said, you guys handle him on both sides of the line of scrimmage. You control that line of scrimmage.
That's good for a mother.
And Waymer said, Mom, where'd you come up with that?
They're down 6. Outside Schuler. Schuler got the first down. Knocked out of bounds over in front of the Jet bench by Johnny Poe. Klecko, we are told now, might return. It's a sprained knee, and he could be back.
Look at this statistic there, that they've been outscored 50-0 in the third quarter. For any team, that's an amazing statistic. They haven't scored in the first quarter.
Really?
But for a good team, that's even more amazing.
Part of that reason is they've been ahead most of the time, well ahead, as they were against Denver last week. Handoff McNeil. Not much there. A couple of yards behind the block of Rocky Cleaver.
You see that? Those poor guys in the middle, those nose tackles, they don't know where they're getting blocked from anymore. Rocky Cleaver's a tight end. He started out outside as a wide receiver, came in motion, and he ends up blocking in the middle. Watch him. He'll come there from the right of the screen. He ends up doubling the nose tackle with Guy Bingham. So how'd you like to be the nose tackle? You're in there. The center can block you. Either guard can come down, tackle it, or some wide receiver come running in motion. You don't even see him. Boom, drop out of the sky on you.
And he's got a running start at you. Second down, quickly outside to 2. He drops it and got back on it. The Jets have it. Johnny Poe was the defender. A gain of only 1. 49ers have tied up Green Bay at 14 apiece. And the Raiders comfortably in front of Houston. That's a bit of a surprise in Pittsburgh. Steelers beating Cincinnati 23-3.
Sometimes you get the feeling in that AFC Central that no one wants to win it. It's just the team that loses the fewest that goes to the playoffs for one game.
Third down and 7 at the St. 44. Zone in motion. O'Brien back to throw. Intended for Sohn, incomplete, out of bounds. Too far away for Leahy. Van Jakes was the defensive back, and we'll see Dave Jennings again.
The other guy that's done a good job is Gordon King. You know, they talked about having to control Bruce Clark, and King, you know, playing for Reggie McElroy, who was injured Monday night, is playing very well. I think he's won that battle. You haven't heard a lot from Clark.
That's right. He missed almost 3 entire years with a broken arm. Jennings standing back at his own 41. Eric Martin back deep for the Saints at his own 10. High, good kick. Martin lets it bounce, and it's going to bounce and roll dead. Gets down at about the 1. Marion Barber down it. 43-yard kick by Jennings, and the result is just great.
There's a fire-breathing creature Chrysler's imported from Japan. Conquest TSI. The intercooled turbo coupe built by Mitsubishi. So hot it'll smoke the 300ZX and RX-7. Conquest TSI, now at your Chrysler dealer.
Ramada wants to know what makes John Madden mad.
Let's replay what happened the last time he tried to check out of a hotel. A slow desk clerk causes a 3-salesman pileup. Boom! You shift formations. Wow! The computer goes berserk. Then you get penalized 15 minutes for unnecessary charges. But don't get mad. Get Ramada. They do everything possible to make your checkout fast and smooth. So you won't get a delay again. Next time, Ramada.
Call 1-800-2-RAMADA.
Not everyone got a vacation this summer.
I need a vacation. What do you need, some glasses? How many fingers can you see? I need a vacation.
This fall, you can still get great low fares to more places on the biggest bargain airline, United.
I got a vacation.
Have a nice shower, Piccone.
I'm not just flying. I'm flying friendly skies.
I'm out of there.
Next Sunday, Eastern Division rivals Dallas and New York square off in the Meadowlands. The Cowboys drew first blood against the Giants earlier in the season, and then Herschel Walker led them past the Washington Redskins. The Giants hope Lawrence Taylor and their defense can shut down the Cowboys. So next Sunday, the NFC East heats up as the Dallas Cowboys battle the New York Giants.
Here's Joe Klecko on the sideline. Look at number 73. He's trying out that knee. See, it's that left knee. He's putting it back, and that's Bill Bain, number 62, who the Jets just picked up this week as a reserve offensive lineman. I'll tell you, that'll test a knee.
If it's not strong, you'll find out in a hurry. From their own end zone, Dalton Hilliard pops out to about the 10. Harry Hamilton made the stop with Russell Carter. A gain of 10. This is just in the second half. And where they've started. Tough to operate from there. Hilliard got close to a first down. Well, it's been raining, but it's not a full moon.
That's what happens to old coaches. You wonder where some old coaches are. I think we just got a shot of them. They sit around looking like that. You know, not like Joe Walton, but like that shot in the stand. Although Joe Walton, you know, we went in his office yesterday, and he had the whole deal.
Oh, the package, yep.
Yeah, he had aspirin, and he had antacid, and he had all, he had all those things, man. The
Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol.
Hand off to Hilliard. And he hammers out to about the 15. Now, again, for an NFL update, let's send you back to New York and to Brent Musburger.
Well, Pat, let me give you the details on San Francisco's tying touchdown. It was set up by Ronnie Lott's 7th interception of the year. Mike Morosky, the third-string quarterback, gets the corner turn. First rushing touchdown, 14-all. Incidentally, Pat and John, they'll make a decision on the World Series in a little over an hour. Still raining by Shea Stadium. Let's go back to Pat.
Stop raining here, or yes, as you look down at the puddles, it started again now. Just as I said, it stopped. 2nd and 6, and Wilson back to throw. Gets it upfield to his tight end, Tights. That's near another first down. Kyle Clifton on the tackle. Jim Mora. John, you asked him yesterday what he thought when he got to New Orleans, and he said, as a matter of fact, they were a little bit better than I thought they would be.
I think that was originally, and then I think they went down where they weren't as good as he thought they would be, and then I think when you have a test like today against the Jets, I think you find out where you really stand, and I think he's a guy that's going to do the job, though. I mean, they're a long way away, but I think that he's going to get him closer.
Hand off Hilliard on first down. Straight ahead, out to about the 30. Pickup of 3. Barry Bennett made the tackle.
You know, they probably have more, or not probably, they have more USFL players than any team. They have 3 that played for him with the Stars. And I think that's one way they think they can get players, you know, is through that USFL and then keep building with the draft. And we see that rain that Brent was talking about that's over by Shea Stadium's over by here, too. It's the same guy.
Yep. Same umbrella. Here's Wilson back to throw. Upfield, and he got his man who lost the ball. And the Jets look like they came up with it. If it's a completed pass, the Jets did recover. It was Mike Jones, and it is a completed pass, and it is the Jets' ball.
Of course, the rule on that is he has to have control and both feet on the ground. So if he's up in the air and fumbles, that's not a fumble. So he has to get the ball, get control, have both feet on the ground, which he did. Both feet were on the ground, and the ball was just knocked out of there.
Good call.
Now the Jets have a shot at getting their first score in 3 quarters.
2:53 left in the third. They lead already 21-6. Handoff McNeil, who I think went the wrong way. Wilkes made the tackle.
You know what happened is left guard and left tackle pulled, and he went where they left. Watch what happens here. This guy's going to, he pulls, and McNeil, instead of running behind him, he runs in here where he doesn't have any guys. Watch, there's no guys here. Watch, his left guard and tackle pull, he goes back the wrong way. His guys went the other way. You got to go where your guys go.
That's the smart decision. 2nd and 11. Zone in motion. O'Brien gives them a draw play to McNeil. McNeil atones. Antonio Gibson finally made the stop, but McNeil picked up 12 and a Jet first down.
Yeah, McNeil's smart enough to know it's easier and better going where you got guys rather than where you ain't got no guys. So he went to where he had guys that time. Went to the right side and got right in behind the guys.
First down, Jets at the St. 25. A minute 45 left in quarter number 3. Kuhn and Walker both split wide to the left, and O'Brien looking in that direction. He has Walker. Walker has a Jet first down. Waymer and Poe are the defenders. A gain of 11.
You know, again, Walker has caught 3 at least like this. You see the respect they have for him deep? You see they run the whole thing off deep, and right there about that first down marker, there's a big area there where he can just about catch anything short that he wants to.
There was a penalty against the Saints. That'll move it closer. First and goal from the 7. A minute 20 left in the third quarter. If they're going to score some points in the third quarter this year, they're going to have to hurry. McNeil is behind O'Brien. Going to work. Pass batted away at the last second by Waymer. Billy Griggs was the intended receiver.
That was the third tight end, Billy Griggs. Watch him, 81. He starts in motion, then he stops and comes back. And I think that O'Brien saw him, thought he had him, but he lofted the ball a little too much. You know, that maybe had he let him a little more, put a little more zip on it, he would have had a shot at it. But he thought he was wide open. He lofted it, and that gave Dave Waymer time to get underneath it.
Second and goal from the 7. A minute 4 left, third quarter. Draw play, McNeil. And he is tripped up after a gain of about 1 by James Haynes.
And Tony Elliott came and jumped on him at the end. There's a big guy. You know, at one time he weighed about 247 pounds. Now he's up to about 300. And that's a nose tackle. You know, he's not that tall. He's like only 6'2 and a half or so, but 300. But he put a lot on that frame. He put like 50 pounds on there.
That uniform's full.
And then it starts to hurt your endurance. So you see, you start bending over and trying to get down and get a little more oxygen in there.
Third and goal from about the 6. Ryan appears to be changing the play. Just barely got it off. A touchdown Tune. And he has really played some Tune today. That's his third of the day.
It was like you say, it was an audible pass. Ken O'Brien saw Johnny Poe up in tight coverage on Al Toon, and he just threw him that short, quick up.
Jets now lead 27-6, and Leahy will try to make it 28. Jets trying to go 7-1. Leahy is good. That is the Jets' first score in the third quarter this year.
You see what O'Brien saw? He saw Johnny Poe was up tight. 2, he was inside. So he knew that he could audibilize to that quick up. Let's see if we can look at it on the chalkboard. We'll see when he sees this, O'Brien sees this, and he sees him inside and up tight. He knows that he can take Tune and just put him outside on a quick loop. Watch him. See, sees it, he's inside, sees it up tight. Now he got that height advantage, and he just throws it over his outside shoulder. So when he saw the alignment, he knew he could do it. That's part of it. And, of course, the second part is physically doing it.
Had 3 touchdowns today and an outstanding day for number 88, Al Toon. 28-6, the Jets lead the Saints with 13 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And rain still hammering down harder and harder now.
You know, Toon is having a great day, but the guy that's thrown it to him, Ken O'Brien's having himself a pretty good day. Of course, and I think, like we talked about earlier, I think a lot of these things you have to give credit to that offensive line.
Sure.
I mean, these guys, they've had injuries, they've had guys move positions, and different guys come in and start, but they've done an excellent job today.
O'Brien is 17 out of 26 for 224 yards, and those 3 touchdowns. Next Sunday here on CBS, the Dallas Cowboys will be here at the Meadowlands to play the Giants, and we will be here. Line drive kickoff goes to Eric Martin. Ball is loose, but he was down. Rich Biano. Return of 21 yards by Martin. And the Saints will take over with 4 seconds left to play in the 3rd period, trailing 28-6. The Eagles leading 9-0 over San Diego. Detroit giving Chicago a tough time.
Did I hear that McMahon was out of that game? Did he have another injury?
He was hurt. He hurt his back, but we believe he is back in the contest.
I'll tell you one thing. I feel Chicago Bears are a great team with Jim McMahon. I think without Jim McMahon, they're just a pretty good team.
He is back playing, John. He's really had a year filled with injuries. But when he starts, they can be awesome almost.
Well, you know, he has that shoulder, and it's going to have to be operated on sometime anyway. And so he's just buying time each week playing without the surgery that he'll eventually have to have.
2nd and 10 Saints from their own 26. Jets leading 28-6. Hand off Dalton Hilliard. Hilliard outside the 30. The ball is loose. The Saints jump on it. John Tice, its tight end, made the recovery. Ball popped loose. So that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Jets 28, the New Orleans Saints 6. And we now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
There were plenty of vets like us getting a shaft on the GI Bill. Till Sam Gagnonson did something about it. Sam got Congress to pass a law that gives the in-and-outers the same benefits as the other vets. Now, the way things turned out, I didn't use my benefits to go to college, but plenty of other people did. And since Sam's done so much for us, we'd like to say thanks to him. Thanks, Sam.
Sam.
A neighbor who cares.
Gatenson.
A congressman who counts.
What are you doing now?
I'm winding on the hackle.
Hackle?
That's a feather that looks like legs when you wrap it around like this. It helps keep the fly afloat. No, it's a little too much risk, huh? Yeah, there you go. All I want to do is drop
It gets results. That's why you listen, trust, learn. At Connecticut National, it's sharing what we know, showing you how to use it. Know-how that pays off.
Introducing the business phone for people with a window office. Lynx phone service from SNET Mobilecom.
Yes, my confidence level is very high. Why, I couldn't be more positive.
Buying a phone system means putting more than phones on the line. Let SNET Sonocore Systems help you choose wisely.
Explored all the avenues, and I think we've taken the...
Hot Cars, Cold Cash, Wednesday at 6. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Mitsubishi Motors. Experience the sensation of the full line of new cars and trucks from Mitsubishi. Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by MCI Communications for the next 100 years.
Well, it's cold and raining, but you wouldn't know it. That is Richard Todd in the baseball cap. Well, they all got on a baseball cap. But the one that was facing you and smiling. And he has reason to be. Happy to be back with the Jets. Pass is complete to Hilliard at the 45. There's Joe Klecko. And the word on Klecko is that he sprained his knee, as you know, twisted it. He could come back, but in all likelihood he will not. They hope they don't need to bring him back. Right now it doesn't look like they will.
Well, I think in this situation, you know, they probably won't, because it's something that as it goes it's going to tighten up a little more, and it doesn't look like it's a serious one, but why take another chance?
Mike Jones, the move man. Wilson back to throw. Wilson has Tice. And he gets down to the Jet 32-yard line. Stopped by Harry Hamilton. 23-yard pickup, the biggest gain of the day for the Saints.
I'll tell you one thing, this Jet defense is starting to get a little soft, and they're not putting the same type of pressure on, and they're not putting the same type of coverage on. See the softness? They're not getting that rush. They're not getting a lot of guys around the ball. And sometimes when things go easy, you always worry about that. You know, that they're going to let up, that they have to keep that same intensity.
This is Mel Gray. And he is hit down at the 30 by Charles Jackson. Gain of 2. That gentleman with the hood on is the injured Saint quarterback, Bobby Hebert. He has a lot of talent.
Right, we were talking to Jim Mora last night, and he thinks that he'll be ready to be activated next week. So whether he'll start or not, he doesn't know. He said, you know, they'd won a couple games in a row, and, you know, whether he wanted to take Wilson out and put Hebert back in, he wasn't sure.
2nd down and 8 at the 30. Martin, again the move man. Wilson gets it outside of Tice. Tice in the grasp of Harry Hamilton goes down. Short of the first down, a gain of 7.
I'll tell you, that John Tice looks a lot like his brother Mike Tice. Last week we had him, and we know that his dad was a big Giant fan. Remember, Mike Tice was telling us last week that his dad's been a fan for 30 years.
Said his dad saw me play. So he's been a fan for a long time.
That is.
3rd and 1. Hilliard is hit by Baldwin. A little bit of confusion on the part of the Saints, and Hilliard never really had a chance. I don't think he got the first down.
I think they were in what could have been an unbalanced line. I think they had an extra lineman in there on that right side. See if we can see, they were trying to get, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, see, they had 4 guys. They had 2 tackles back to back there. I think they took their left tackle, Bill Cons, and put him over on the right. So they tried to run an overload, overshift, and run into it.
He actually lost yardage. They're going for it on 4th down. Hobie Brenner will have it from Wilson. Out of bounds at about the 15. A gain of 9.
That's something, Hobie Brenner catching that pass with the cast on. I guess if you have something and you work long enough with it that you can get in a position where it doesn't hit the hard part.
Well, he can move his fingers, but he doesn't have the soft hands, obviously, that you would desire.
Yeah, you can't let it get into the palm of the left hand.
Look out. So Brenner flags down in the end zone, the penalty marker.
That was Matt Monger again. I think he had one earlier, didn't he? In fact, he had one on Hobie Brenner earlier.
Interference,
pass interference.
number 58, defense in the end zone, 1st down on the 1-yard line.
First and goal at the 1.
That's old Matt Monger right there in the right-hand part of the picture. You see him there? He's not looking. See, now, had he looked back, then there was contact. It may have been all right. But he wasn't even looking at the ball. But a guy with a name like Matt Monger ought to be a nose tackle anyway.
He ought to be good on special teams.
Yep. Matt Monger, he got to be good.
First and goal at the 1. Hilliard behind Jordan. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. About a foot short. Troy Benson, the leading Jet tackler.
Dalton Hilliard tried to get that ball to break the plane, but he tried too late. It was after he was down for about 5 seconds. But of course, the ball has to break the plane of the goal line. And watch, it doesn't. Then by the time he slips it out there, it's too late. Then he tries it again. He says, does it count if it breaks the plane now? No.
They're about a foot away. Second down. Jordan will not get in. That'll bring up a third down. Marty Lyons led the defense that time.
I tell you, someone came in there in that second level and made a heck of a hit on Buford Jordan, because he stopped him going back, made him go the other way. But watch this, he's going in there. Now watch that first right there, that linebacker that filled that hole really got those shoulders turned around on him.
I think it was Benson. It could have been Kyle Clifton. They actually lost about a foot. That'll bring up a 3rd and goal situation.
This would be a good time for a fake a run and run a bootleg option pass type thing.
Wilson, the quarterback, starts his man in motion. That was Tice. Here's the bootleg. Tice, touchdown. Harry Hamilton was the defender. Tice is a big guy. A 1-yard touchdown pass from Wilson to Tice.
Well, that's the thing. You know, you pound it in there a couple times and you can't find anything. That means that they're all tightened up in there. And if you can't do that, then you have a chance to do this. You see how they were all bunched up and they all went down in there? Then you had a chance to get your tight end man-to-man on Harry Hamilton. Then you just throw it right to that second pylon in the end zone. Watch here. See them all bunched up. They're all down. You just come out there, throw it right over his head, right in front of the pylon.
He did well to get both feet down. Anderson's extra point is up and good. And it's 28-13 now, the Jets leading. We have 10 minutes and 19 seconds left in the contest. The Jets right now are comfortable.
The beauty of patience is its gentle persistence, but the power of patience is anything but passive. For proof, we introduced the new generation of Mitsubishi trucks. This Mitsubishi has been patiently crafted to be an exceptional value, with a new shape, a new interior, and all the strength of more horsepower per liter than ever before, which proves that even patience likes to kick up a little dust. Mitsubishi.
Where you been?
Busy. My son's home with the family.
From the city? Must have cost a bundle.
He just got a big promotion.
Your son?
Yep. The business was growing too fast. The right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing.
He finally knows his right hand from his left?
He knew IBM could help. They've got computers and software for any size business. He put computers on everyone's desk. Use something called telecommunications to tie all their offices together. Now everyone knows what's going on, from LA to New York.
No one understands what's going on in New York. How'd your son know IBM did all that?
He's a smart boy.
Smart boy, I'll say.
Smart boy. Who'd he take after?
13, the Jets over the Saints, and the Jets still have not given up a touchdown rushing. They had a 1st and goal at the 1, the Saints did. Tried 2 running plays, couldn't get in, and finally had to put it up. Anderson will kick off. Got a strong leg. Bobby Humphrey back deep, along with JoJo Townsell for the Jets. Zone. Bobby Humphrey will stay there. Next Saturday, don't forget that big day. Florida State and Miami first in college football, and then this. The rematch. Remember that? Last May? That remarkable shot by Ralph Sampson, Houston Rockets eliminated the Lakers, won the series 4-1. The Lakers would like some revenge. That's after the football game. The season premiere of the NBA here on CBS. Miami struggling in Indianapolis. Freeman McNeil is the lone setback behind O'Brien. They run counter Trey, and it's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. James Geathers, jumpy. Philadelphia shutting out San Diego. Of course, Fouts is hurt, but who would have thought San Diego would ever be shut out?
You know, they had things going, you know, with that offense for so long. They couldn't get the defense, and then it seems like the Chargers just lost everything. Now they don't have anything at all.
2nd and 10 for the Jets at their own 20 with 9:39 left to play. And the Jets leading 28-13. Schuler is the move man. O'Brien again gives to McNeil, and again there's no gain.
You know, one thing the Jets have to lead the league in is Irish guys. I mean, they got O'Brien and Ryan at quarterbacks. They got Sweeney at left guard and Leahy. You know, that could be a company like O'Brien, Ryan, and Leahy.
What kind of company would that be?
Oh, they're Irish, probably a mortuary.
Either that or a tugboat concern.
Something like that. Yeah, something that it wouldn't be a law firm because Irish guys aren't lawyers, a lot of them.
O'Brien back to throw. The push is on. O'Brien looking for somewhere to go. Comes out of the whole thing. And will scramble out of bounds on the far side of the field. After all that, no gain. Ricky Jackson in pursuit. Maybe he got a couple. But it'll bring up a 4th down situation. And Jennings will come on to punt. In fact, he's already on.
Well, he doesn't have anything else to do. I mean, you know, like he wasn't out there snapping or blocking or doing anything, so he could just run out there and wait for the other guy. So he just stands there like he's been standing there for 2 minutes. The punters do.
Different kind of face mask. Just the 2 bars.
I don't think he's going to block or tackle anyone with that headgear and face mask.
We're not in danger of that happening. High kick. Martin feels it. Saints have it at their own 42. 37-yard punt by Jennings in the rain. 8:35 left to play in the game. 28-13 Jets.
The 1986 Indianapolis 500 champion Bobby Rahal, winner of the fastest Indy in history. Continuing the winning tradition of Budweiser Racing Team, Bobby took the checkered flag to win the Indianapolis 500. Racing fans, this Bud's for you.
The beauty of patience is its gentle persistence, but the power of patience is anything but passive. For proof, we introduced the new generation of Mitsubishi pickups. This new Mitsubishi is more than just a new truck. Patient crafting has combined a vigorous new shape with the available power of the largest inline 4-cylinder built, which proves that even patience likes to kick up a little dust. Mitsubishi.
They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm a safe driver, so I shopped around for car insurance. Liberty Mutual gave me the best protection and saved me money, too. I believe in liberty.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Next, a world-class field of runners takes on over 26 miles of Chicago's toughest streets. It's America's Marathon on CBS Sports. Next.
There's Pat Leahy, the Jets place kicker, who has made 22 consecutive field goals. One shy of the record held by the now retired Mark Mosley. It's over a 2-year stretch. It's still a remarkable accomplishment. First down, Saints. at their own 43. They trail 28-13. Jones moves. Pass complete to Eric Martin. Out of bounds in Jet territory at the 40. Russell Carter knocked him out.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Dave Wilson has made a comeback this second half. That makes him 10 for 12 in this second half. You know, now he's getting things. He finds Eric Martin. He makes a little move to the inside, then back to the outside. I think it's a combination of Jet defense going a little soft and the Saint offense coming back with some different ideas in the second half.
Perhaps a little bit more accustomed to the playing conditions, too. Incomplete. Mike Jones, the intended receiver, he thought he was hit by Jerry Holmes before the ball got there. It's a very pleasant guy, Dave Wilson.
I'll tell you, he's a real emotional guy, and he's a real competitor, and the players have a great deal of confidence in him. I know Jim Morrow was saying last night, he said that the players really have more confidence in Dave Wilson than they do Bobby Hebert. Of course, Dave Wilson thought that one of the things they have to do for him to be successful today is get a running game going, and they haven't been able to do that.
Well, they lost their top runner, Reuben Mays, early in the game. Wilson back to throw. As time gets it to Hilliard. And Hilliard spins inside the Jet 30. Kyle Clifton took him down, a gain of 12 and another Saint first down.
You know, one of the things, you take a Joe Klecko out of your defense, and maybe that's why it's gone that way. You know, maybe you just take someone who could be the heart of it. You take him out, and this Jet defense isn't the same.
7.5 minutes left to play. Wilson for Tice. Touchdown, Saints. Tice's second touchdown grab of the day as Jerry Holmes made the tackle. A gain of 29 and a touchdown, New Orleans.
I'll tell you, that's something for Dave Wilson to have a first half like he had and then come back in this second half. Like I said, part of it is having some good ideas. Part of it is, as you say, getting used to it. And another part of it is the Jets just aren't the same, and they're letting things happen to them that they didn't. There was no pressure, no rush on Wilson, and there wasn't much coverage here on Tice.
Good throw, too. Anderson will try for the extra point. 7:23 left in the game. Saints coming back. 28-20. Still a lot of time, and they have all of their timeouts left as well. Jets 28, New Orleans 20.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. Be All You Can Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Number 42, Jeff Smith, was only a 10th round draft pick in 1985. But the hard-working running back earned a spot with the Chiefs as a backup. And when he got his chance to play, he made the most of it, playing with inspirational second effort. By overcoming the adversity of being a low-round draft pick to become a key contributor in the Kansas City offense, Jeff Smith is the best he can be.
In the Army, we do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
Hey, where did you learn about computers?
In the Army.
You were in the Army, too?
Qualify for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund, and you can earn over $25,000 for college.
What you do in the Army?
Airborne.
You used to jump out of airplanes?
7:23 left to play at the Meadowlands Giant Stadium, and the Jets leading 28-20. Next Sunday here on CBS, the Cowboys will be in town, and John Madden and I'll be on hand. Bill Parcells, the Giant coach, was here at the game in the first half. I'm not sure if he left or not.
Well, it was interesting. You know, the Giants were here. They had their team meeting here this morning, and all the players were coming out as the players for this game were coming in. And one thing, of course, the Giants play the Redskins tomorrow night, and they seemed awfully confident.
Well, they've been playing great defense all year long. If they can get untracked on offense, it ought to be an interesting day for the Cowboys.
Well, you know, any time that the Giants and the Cowboys play, it's going to be an interesting day, because that's a big rivalry now, because, you know, usually the team that wins is going to be the team that's in the playoffs or the division winner.
Right. Anderson's kick soars down to Sohn and goes out of bounds. They'll bring it back again, and he'll do it from the 30. The NFC Eastern standings, Washington ahead 6-1 they are. They play the Giants tomorrow night. Dallas and the Giants at 5-2. And the Eagles, who are beating San Diego today at 2-5, would increase their record to 3-5.
You know, the way it looks to me, all three of those teams in the top, the Redskins, the Cowboys, and the Giants, all look like playoff teams to me. I can see one of them winning it and the other two being the wild card teams.
Well, that has happened before. San Francisco has gone ahead of Green Bay. By the way, that touchdown that put them ahead was a 57-yard pass interception returned by Ronnie Lott.
He's had a load of those this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's, I think, is number 8.
Well, you know, it's his first full year as a free safety.
Anderson will now kick off from the 30. And now the Jets change their strategy, take Sohn out and put their regular return men in.
Well, it was an interesting thing on the first kickoff from the 35. The Jets were in an onside prevent. And now with a 5-yard penalty, then they've gone back to more of a normal kickoff return.
JoJo Parenzel and Bobby Humphrey back. And it's going to be JoJo at the 5. Finally tripped up after a good return outside the 30. Dave Waymer finally brought him down. A gain of 27, a return of 27.
You know, as you're coming down the field, you could see that return was going left all the time. You have three groups of guys. You have the front line, then you have the middle line or the wedge, and then you have the second. Now watch this middle group right about the 30-yard line. Watch how they're going to come out here. We'll see this group here comes out here to the left. Now that means that it's going to be a left return. You see him, you start here, and then the wedge went to the left, and he had to go to the left.
O'Brien is going back to throw. Dumps it over the middle of McNeil. And McNeil gets forward enough for the first down. Alvin Coles made the stop after a gain of 11. 28-20. Jets leading.
Hey, I think the Jets have to start getting some first downs here and take a little more time off that clock. Whereas with an 8-point lead, the Saints have to think in terms of 2 scores.
First down, Jets at their own 43. That was, by the way, Ronnie Lott's 8th interception this year. O'Brien back to work. Pass incomplete. That was also Ronnie Lott's 5th touchdown with an interception. Mickey Schuler was the intended receiver. It's incomplete. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I wonder how that ball is to pass for those guys now, because it looks like they're not doing the job of keeping it dry that they were earlier. Now that ball, look how dark it is. That thing's wet. And the towel that he's drying it off with is wet. And then they're going to put it on the ground, and that's wet. And it's amazing these guys can complete a pass. Look, that's not keeping it dry. See, now it's going to rain on it. And then when the center puts his weight on it, then that squishes it into the turf.
The officials have put 7 seconds back on the clock. Let her run a little too much. That's Toon in motion. O'Brien finally gets out of there. Gets it down the middle to Schuler. Juggles and hangs on. Johnny Poe, the tackler. Now let's go for an NFL update and take you to Brent Musburger in New York.
Well, Pat, you were absolutely right about Ronnie Lott. 8 interceptions this season, 2 on the afternoon, and here he goes with the 57-yarder you reported moments ago, and the Niners are ahead of the Packers. The Packers, Pat, are driving back. They have gotten to the Niner 30-yard line. Let's go back to Pat and John.
It's 28-20 at the Meadowlands. The wet Meadowlands today. Giant Stadium has been rained upon all day. Page and McNeil behind O'Brien. Pitch out to McNeil. Freeman. Gain of about 3 or 4. Sam Mills on the stop. Clock running. 5:20 left to play. 28-20 the score. Philadelphia continues to shut out the Chargers. Jaworski hit quick. Cleveland has come back to tie Minnesota. 2nd and 7 here. Doing some pointing.
Well, Watlett's a guy who can't run with Wesley Walker. So if you're going to get in a foot race, then I think Watlett would like to grab him or be grabbed by Wesley Walker. But that's a mismatch.
Total. They'll talk it over. Gene Barth will let us know.
Illegal contact, 44 defense, 5-yard penalty and a first down.
First down.
Oh, so that was going to be on Waymer. That was before you saw it. That was right there. You see where he ran over Waymer, ran into him, and then Watlett was coming over later. But that was something in there where they made contact. I don't know. It was hard to tell, but that's the thing. You have to do something to Wesley Walker because you can't cover him if you can't run as fast as he can.
It's pretty hard, isn't it? Tune split wide to the left. That's Rocky Cleaver in motion. Outside McNeil. Good pass from O'Brien. That'll be close to a first down. Johnny Poe saying, somebody held me. Zeke Bratkowski signaling. Excuse me, John.
I was just saying Jim Sweeney, the left tackle, has really done a good job on Jim Wilkes, and he did that play. He just lifted him right up in the air on that pass protection. And he's playing with one of those things on his shoulder.
Harness.
The harness.
O'Brien. Outside intended for Wesley Walker, again incomplete. Covered by Waymer. Clock stops now with 4 minutes, 8 seconds left to play. Jets doing what they wanted to do, eat up some yardage.
I'll tell you, that's what you like to see a lineman, man. You're doing everything. You're playing with everything you got. You're an Irish guy. You can't hold your socks up. You know, I mean, stuff is dripping off you, and your sock just falls down.
He's got that harness on, so he can't get down there to pull his socks up.
That's right. You probably can't tie your shoes. You have to have friends do it for you. Stuff falls down on you, flops around on you.
Good friends. O'Brien. Pass incomplete, very nearly intercepted. Tony Elliott put the pressure on.
I tell you, O'Brien was rushed that time from the backside. You see, Clark got up the field, and then Elliott came from the backside and gave him a whap right in the head right after he threw that ball. And that's a 300-pound whap, too.
That'll cause some echoes.
That's a whap brought aloud by a load.
3rd down and 10. The Jets are at the St. 26. 4 minutes, 3 seconds left to play. Page goes in motion. O'Brien gives to McNeil. The ball's loose. I think the Saints got it. O'Brien is saying we got it. Jets got it.
That's what causes the Joe Walton to go to that antacid stuff. When you see that, you're trying to run out the clock, the ball comes out, watch that scramble for it. The first guy had it. O'Brien's there, and he said, let us have it. We want to try a field goal and let Leahy get this record.
Schuler made the recovery. Leahy is in to try to tie Mark Mosley's record from 46 yards out. Ryan will hold. It is not good, and that's the end of the streak. They'll bring it back to the line of scrimmage. He had made 22 in a row.
I'll tell you, that's what teammates are all about, though. Do you see that? You know, Pat Leahy has done so many good things for this team, and they really all wanted him to get the record. Like, they all pat him on the back, and the players were over there on the sideline trying to get the fans here to cheer him.
I wonder how that would feel. That's his first miss in almost a year.
Well, you don't remember how to do it.
No. First down, Saints, with 3.5 minutes left to play. Wilson back to throw. Obi Brenner, and he's got it. He is inside the Jet 40. Wilson had all kind of time. Lester Lyles finally slung him to the ground. A gain of 34.
I'll tell you one thing. Either the Saints are doing a great job of pass protecting, or there's no pass rush at all by the Jets. Watch him. I mean, Wilson was able to stand back there and pump and look and finally find Brenner.
There's a little rush. And there's an incomplete pass and a flag down. Jerry Holmes all over the back of Mike Jones. That's going to be another Saint first down.
Interference, 47
Stops the
defense,
clock.
first down.
Holmes doesn't think that he did anything wrong. Of course, he can't make contact before the ball gets there. The ball's not there. You see the contact by his right arm. That's what they called it on. His left arm was okay getting around the front, and they called it on the right arm. I tell you, Dave Wilson just got that one off.
First down on the 27. Jordan, the lone setback. Wilson taking his time. Jets come on the blitz. Wilson out of bounds to Mike Jones. And complete. Jerry Holmes again the defender, but a gain of 11.
Did you hear Mike Jones down there as he was going out of bounds? He said, hey, watch the head. He was talking to Jerry Holmes again.
What a difference a half can make. Look at Dave Wilson.
You know, I think that says a lot about the Saints and the adjustment that they made. I think that says a lot about Dave Wilson. You know, that things don't go well, you don't give up, you don't get down. You get up and say, let's go out and get it. And they've done that.
Martin split wide to the left. They go with the 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. Someone jumped, but no flag. Intended for Brenner, trying to catch that ball with a cast on his hand, his left hand, and he just couldn't come up with it.
That's where I think the cast hurt on that one, because he was going to his right and tried to stop and come back to his left, and he had to use the left hand on that one. He just couldn't do it. I mean, it would have been a good catch anyway. Watch him. You see, he was going to his right. Now watch him come back to his left. And you see it's his left hand. See, he has to get that hand out there. I think it just hit and just bounced right out. There was no way he could catch that type of ball.
Second down and 10 from the Jets 16. 2:48 left to play. Wilson back to throw. Gets it to Tice at about the 11. Kyle Clifton made the stop, a gain of 5.
Wilson started to call timeout, then decided just to get a playoff. Now remember, they need 2 scores here, and it can be a combination field goal first and then the touchdown.
Got to have it either way. Wilson all kinds of time. Too far, just out of the end zone. Mike Jones couldn't get both feet down.
To me, the story of this half, Pat, is again that pass protection of the Saints, or the lack of pass rush of the Jets, because they're just not getting there. In fact, it's getting so bad, I think that they may be thinking of bringing Joe Klecko back in.
They're going to do exactly what you suggested. They got to have the 2 scores anyway. So they're going to go with a field goal here. Anderson from 28 yards out. Then, of course, they try the onside kick. It's good. That makes it 28-23 Jets.
Well, you know, the big thing is the Saints have all 3 of their timeouts left, plus they have the free timeout at the 2-minute warning. So in essence, they have 4 timeouts. Now the decision they have to make here is they need a touchdown to win this game. The decision they have to think about right here is, do they go for an onside kick, or do they kick it and play defense and use their timeouts? I would kick off normally.
Coming up tonight on CBS, it is, of course, 60 Minutes. And what did a lawyer do to get on 60 Minutes? He defended 1,500 drunk drivers and got them all off. The drunk driver's best friend. And, of course, after that, it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by a CBS movie, Who is Julia? That's all coming up tonight on CBS. Well, they've made their decision, the Saints have, as to whether it's going to be an onside kick or whether they're going to kick away. Jets are up expecting the onside kick. Obviously, they have to do that.
Well, I would sure kick away again, and the reason I would make that decision is that they have plenty of timeouts. But I think the Saints are going to go for an onside kick. Look at this alignment. They got all the guys over here in the right side. No one on the left side.
You think it's coming this way?
It's better.
It is the onsider. And the Jets do get it. And all the hands guys up close. And Johnny Lynn is the man who did the fielding. It did go 10 yards. So if the Saints had been able to come up with it, it would have been their ball. As it is, the Jets take over at their own 48 with just over 2 minutes to go. We'll get the 2-minute warning. And, of course, the Saints do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Yeah, and I think that was a poor decision. I don't think they had to do that. I would have kicked her up, because now you give the Jets the ball here at midfield instead of at the 20.
McNeil and Page are the 2 runners. 28-23. The Jets lead by 5. This is McNeil with no place to go. And that'll be probably the last play. Now they call a timeout. McNeil got 1. 2 seconds left to go before the 2-minute warning. I don't know if I would have wasted that one, do you?
Well, what they're thinking is they're going to get the 2-minute warning after this play anyway. So I think they figure they just saved 2 seconds. Yeah, that kind of surprised me, the onside kick.
Well, with all your timeouts, I could understand it if they didn't have any timeouts left.
That's the big thing. You know, that you have 4 timeouts, and with 4, you can take a timeout after every play the Jets would use, plus you'd still have 1 when you got the ball back.
The 4, of course, including the 2-minute warning.
Right, and then you pick up another one, really a 5th, with a change of possession.
Right.
So you have plenty of time.
28-23. We might as well just stay here in this booth all week. What do you think?
Well, yeah, this is a nice place. We're going to be back here next Sunday. Be different teams on the coming out of the home side and the visitor side, but I would do that. You could watch practice. You know, the Giants practice here, and watch the Cowboys come in.
Right.
They have hot dogs. Eat hot dogs.
A couple of cots. 2nd and 9. Cleaver, the move man. This is McNeil. Hit in the backfield, gets away from 1 man, lost a couple. Alvin Toles made the stop, and now we'll get the 2-minute warning. A loss of 2. Ricky Jackson was in there with the assist. That much time remaining, 1:57, and the Jets leading New Orleans 28-23.
We're MCI. Thousands of people pulling together to give you the best in the communications business. MCI competes with fiber optics, in place now, for superior call quality and data transmission. Our competition is good. We have to be better. And because we compete, you win. MCI, communications for the next 100 years.
Like many before, you came here asking for just one thing.
Sadowski. Shidwolski.
A chance.
Pronounced Shidwolski. You're gonna make it here, 'cause you make America work and
Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste
Hey, Sid.
that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Should you ever drive from Paris to Dakar, we'd suggest a Mitsubishi Montero. Montero's won the Paris to Dakar rally 4 years straight, so it knows the shortcuts. But should you stay closer to home, you can still enjoy Montero's 2.6 liters, the independence of four-wheel drive, and the crafting of its civilized interior. Because you don't need a road rally to enjoy Montero, just an impulsive imagination. Mitsubishi.
Go with our just regular. Want to be able to go with our Patty call? You follow me? That's our number 1 call. He's got him man to man. We go with our 11 call. Then we'll be man. We'll have this guy, Buskers. We go
Getting
with our 11
instructions
call.
over on this side of the field.
We'll bring one of these guys in the hole.
That's the defensive coordinator, Bud Carson, talking about what happens when the Saints get the ball.
3rd and 11. The Jets at their own 47. Saints with 2 timeouts remaining. Walker in motion. O'Brien back to throw. Under pressure from Geathers, and down he goes. A big sack, and that's sack number 4. 3 of them by Geathers.
I think here's Geathers right here. Now watch how he just gets a push. He doesn't make moves and stuff. He just gets the push and gets back there on O'Brien. Watch it. Just takes it. He's big, strong, 300-pound guy. Just pushes back, pushes by, and look what happens at the end of the push. I like this thing. There's no Saints on the field.
Well, they call the timeout.
And there's no Jets on the field. This is a new deal, like basketball. Look, both the teams are having their huddles on the sideline. That's like that Laker-Houston guys, the way they play. See, there's no players out there, just officials.
There's a game still going on.
Yeah, here comes some guys.
Jennings out on the field, set to punt. Coming up after football, CBS presents a sports special, the America's Marathon in Chicago. A world-class field of runners take to the streets of Chicago in America's Marathon. Right after football. Jennings standing back at his own 22-yard line. Saints have nobody deep. They're going to put the rush on. Jets taking her time snapping it. Bounces a snap back. Jennings gets it off. Slides off the side of his foot. Snap bounced in front of him. He was lucky to get that much out of it.
Well, Dave Jennings knew that he had to rush it because they had 11 guys up there, and you could tell that they were going to come on the rush. Now, he knew he got that snap, had good hands getting that ball, and he just had to get rid of that thing.
And so the Saints take over at their own, like about the 29-yard line. 1 timeout remaining. 28-23, Jets lead.
Well, the big thing the Jets need here is a pass rush. They haven't had one the entire second half.
What crowd there is left has really started to come to life. Jets have 4 down linemen. They're going to try to put some heat on. Toby Brenner can't quite come up with it. Harry Hamilton on the coverage. And there's a flag down in the secondary, and it looks like from the applause from the Saints, it's got to be against the Jets.
Well, that'll be one of those 5-yard defensive holding, first down.
It will stop the clock.
Illegal contact, 26 defense. 5-yard penalty and a first down.
Lester Lyle.
I tell you, you can see it right there in the middle of the picture. See it right there. See the contact. You see him hold him there. In fact, he had him all the way. I tell you, they caught him. That was a good hold by Lester Lyles. No question on that one.
Jordan, the lone setback. Saints from their own 35. Incomplete. Intended for Eric Martin. Knocked away by Lyles.
Hey, Lyles had good hands on that one. It looks like he took it out of the receiver's hand. Watch him. He has good coverage there. The ball's coming. It's like a jump ball in basketball. He went up over him and brought that thing out. Looked like it was in Eric Martin's hands, and he took it right out. There's the blocking on Mark Gastineau. I'll tell you, Gastineau's just not the same with that stomach pull he has.
It really bothers him, and it shows. 2nd and 10 from their own 35. The Saints go. Got a man. Fumble. Ball is loose, and the Jets have it if it's a catch. Eric Martin, and it was a catch, and the Jets get the fumble. Johnny Lynn made the hit.
Was wide open. Watch the hit by Lynn. He does catch the ball. He just puts his shoulder right in there on the ball and knocks it out of Eric Martin's hand.
Hey, look who made the recovery way down the field. Marty Lyons.
I'll tell you, that defense really hadn't done much in the second half, and the Saint offense had been excellent. And then they came up with the one big play that they had to, and that was it.
That should do it for the Jets, and they should increase their record to 7-1. Page, McNeil. Behind O'Brien, they give it to Page. Page just hammers straight ahead. Sam Mills made the stop. Page got 5. Turnovers again. Look at this. The New Orleans ratio. Today they're -3. They got too early and got up to +11.
You know, it's a funny thing how those things haunt you and win and lose games. When they had them, they weren't doing anything. And then they got rid of them. They didn't have any, and they were moving well. And then, of course, it was all ended by that last turnover.
It'll be 2nd and 5. The Saints have just used their last timeout. Jim Mora, I was talking to Jim Finks, who's the general manager of the Saints, and he said he felt that Jim Mora had gotten all he could get out of this team. He felt he had really done a good job.
And I'll tell you, I agree with that today. When you can play the Jets 28-23 and you have your team and they have theirs, I think that Jim Mora and his staff have done an excellent job. And I think it's all there in their future. I think that they're on the right track. They have a way to go, but I think they're going to get there with this group.
Joe Walton over on the other sideline. Telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited. O'Brien just kneels. And there's nothing that New Orleans Saints can do about it now. Timeouts are gone. Just over a minute left. It was a gallant effort.
Jim Mora is trying to buy some time over there. You know, the frustration is that the other team has the ball, you don't have any timeouts, and you want that referee to hurry up and start that 30-second count.
It's down to 5 seconds, 4 now on the 30-second clock. O'Brien looking down the field at it, and he kneels again. And now a little scuffle. Clock still running. Maybe that's the way to buy some time.
That's the Jets. They'll probably, I would think, walk off the field. You know, they had that big one with Buffalo, and a lot of their players were fine.
Now they've stopped the clock with 30 seconds remaining. 6th straight win ties the club record. And their record is improved to 7-1. Now the clock resumes. 28-23. The seconds tick off. Joe Walton takes off. And the Jets win at 28-23, increase their record to 7-1. But quite a stirring comeback for the New Orleans Saints. A day was covered in rain most of the day. Have to admire, don't you, the way the Saints came back. Although the Jets did win, you don't forget that.
Well, I think that they made some good adjustments at halftime. But then I think that's a sign of a team that has discipline, is that things go bad, but you just get it back and get it going your way again.
So they head for the locker rooms. For John Madden, this is Pat Summerall saying so long from Giant Stadium, where the final score, Jets 28, the Saints 23. Coming up next on the NFL Today, the post-game show with Brent Musburger, scores and highlights from around the league. You've been watching CBS.